versus Centaur.
It does, like, Gyro's all magic damage. You win the lane against Centaur. Shadow Fiend doesn't particularly scare you in the mid game. It's not like good against Shadow Fiend, but it's not enough to be like scared of Shadow Fiend. And I don't know. I feel like you just need a hero like. Oh, so they do go Invoker mid. That's the complete opposite approach, where they're gonna have crowd control rather than a frontliner. I thought they might need something to help set up for the Enigma hole, like a hero that would dangle, in the words of Kyle. But
no,
they go the opposite approach. That's more AoE control, a little bit of greed. Do you think he's going to go Quas Wex this game, or do you have to go Exord against the Shadow Fiend?
I think he's going to go Exord. It's a very interesting pick. I would not say that
it was good.
Yeah, like you already have like a decent mid matchup. I also think SCCC's Mirana is incredibly good. And I feel like the playstyle doesn't suit Mugi as much. And Invoker is susceptible to just getting run over, which is the only way the VGj.Storm draft really takes this game, is if they can play super fast around the map, very mobile, they get their Shadow Fiend, Shadowblade BKB, ASAP, and they just kill you over and over. You're going to win the game. They have no interrupt for BKB Black Hole. So that's a timing we always have to look for, especially when there's a Wyvern on the team as well, because if at any point that Wyvern ult hits 2 or 3 players, the Enigma ult's going to follow, and you have 2 real cores on Storm that actually do damage, and 2 game-changing, long-duration BKB piercing disables on Newbee. So I like their draft. I think it's got answers, but Storm has shown throughout the course of this tournament they're probably the better team.
Yeah, if you like their draft, that's good, but VJ has only lost 1 game. That's the thing. A draft can be so good, but you have to play up to the standard of the draft, and I think it's going to be decent. They have a lot of movement. They have a lot of stuns as well. It's all about this laning phase.
The difference between this game and last game, is I feel like I give a slight advantage to VGJ in the laning stage, but there's a point in the game where Newbee's draft is much stronger. So last game, I felt like even if they got to the late game, you're playing Medusa and Coddle. This game, you have a Blink, BKB, Black Hole. They have no way to stop it. I love that taunt, by the way.
And I hope KP knows that you can taunt when you are black holing and it doesn't cancel it. I hope he knows that.
Yes.
Because you can.
That is important.
It is important.
Taunts have been a good part of Dota.
They have.
The early smoke from Newbee, this oftentimes can be used to just get the early ward up, maybe in an opponent jungle if you want to scout. There's all types of usefulness of early ward.
Kill.
Leading with the Venge. If you hit if you get the stun off, you kill whoever you find. They find SVG. He can't TP because it's early on in the game. They have a Quas skilled on Invoker, implying that he's going to be Quas Wex.
And
who do they give it to?
You actually give it to like SCC.
You give it to Invoker.
I like Mirana a lot.
They're giving it to him. They all quit. Give it to him.
He's the carry hero. I got to be a little bit biased.
Like that PSJ, man. You got to be a team player.
Yeah.
It's not all about you.
I mean, there's
on his teams it is.
Yes.
No, but so this Invoker will start with a little bit of extra gold, which is going to be nice. It's going to be almost a second null already, which obviously versus Shadow Fiend, you need that, because once he gets 5 or 6 souls, you're going to be in a little trouble.
Oh, get the rune,
Rezo. Steal the rune. He
4 runes for VGJ.
And look at that. You get first blood, but then you look at VGj.Storm's a little bit of gold lead.
That's a perfect quote for getting 4 bounty runes.
And they did that yesterday as well, I believe, in a game we watched. They got 4 bounty runes. I don't know how they do it well. I mean, 4 heroes being bottom, I guess, helps you.
And you can tell, even just from the tipping, like, I know VGj.Storm probably better than most teams at this tournament, and they're just such a great group of guys. They have a lot of fun playing, and they still work hard, which is something that traditionally didn't match the North American region.
Middle.
Wow, mid lane.
Yawar's in a lot of trouble here. Any uphill misses from SCC? There is none. He's going to Fairy Fire. That should be enough. It will be. Kakai is going to go down as well, it looks like. But you are completely okay with that because no experience given over to Yawar. And he's going to get the range.
Yeah.
And that's huge because, right, he's not going XOR. You don't have this base damage. And all of a sudden, wow, I'm in a winning lane.
Oh, I love this. Quas, Wex, Invoker is like the Centaur counter.
Uh-oh.
Like,
oh, if he got 1 attack and a raise there, but the creep's helping him out right there. And so why is he the Centaur?
Well, it's the same. We watched another game, didn't we, with Invoker versus Whip Gyro? Like, you can set up spells for the relocate, and if they try and stampede in and you counter-initiate, like, they're just wrecked. It's also instead of follow-up for your huge ultimates, it's setup. Because Wyvern and Enigma, if they can just get their spells off on good targets, they're going to win you the fight. You need to initiate and just poke. You need to be the one that's actually creating chaos in fights to let your big team fight spells come through.
Yep. And now the other lanes, we got bottom lane, it's Rezo. Going to be paired up there with SVG versus KP. And I'm sure you just hate laning versus Enigma. If you're anyone, right? You're like, well, I have one less creep. That's
the most
lame.
important thing against Enigma is being able to pull, and SVG flew out 2 separate sentries in order to get that D ward, and I think that's super important that he did that, so he's going to try to pull, and I even like even more that Kaka is going to come over and try to interrupt it. Both teams knowing exactly what needs to happen in this lane in order for them to win. Can he deny it on Kaka? It looks like he will be able to, and as long as the lane's not pulled, Enigma will pull ahead in levels.
Well, that's the deny factor. And so Mugi top lane, you said you really like SCC's Mirana, but we've seen Mugi play it a lot.
Oh, the fort to prevent the range creep from getting tornadoed in the mid lane.
Works out for him. So, I mean, you're looking at SCC 9-1 versus Shadow Fiends 10-4, and this is the problem, right? You're Quas Wex, you can do some decent team fighting, some tricky stuff like that, but you're eventually just going to fall behind to a Shadow Fiend who can go to the jungle, right?
Yeah, but I don't think you mind that. I feel like if SF is forced to retreat and recover, then you don't. You kind of did your job. Part of the issue I had with Mirana in this game is that it's traditionally a very poor laner against a Centaur, especially if there's a Wisp behind him.
And Yawar, he's going to go down middle. Another gank. It's a double damage gank this time that helps out.
Yeah, sets up with the Splinter Blast for the slow, Cold Snap, and then the damage over time from the Arctic Burn and the Cold Snap constantly proccing.
And this is another issue with the,
middle
with the
again.
SF mid. Why you don't see it too much is it's very susceptible to these early rotations.
And he has to be careful when that Arctic burns back up.
He does know.
20 seconds.
The ward did show him rotating around, so we'll see if he plays a little bit more careful.
Did he smoke or just die to that? Because that ward should have seen the
I
Wyvern
think
rotate.
he saw it.
He thought, but top stun's going to come out. What build do you see on Snake? I was actually watching the earlier game. It was a 4-1-1 build on Centaur from OG. He max stun instead of double edge. That's
quite
not
peculiar.
normal.
Was he? He might have been against a melee hero in lane. When you're against these ranged heroes, I don't think you can do that build because you're just not reliably going to stun. Especially you don't have a setup this game other than Ogre.
Trying to make him waste leap here is Snaking.
You also have the IO that gives you more health to work with for the double edge, but also gives you more mana for stun. I've never seen IO Centaur this patch. Centaur is a hero that has generally been a little bit harder to pull off in lane, but has been given recent base damage buffs, so that's really nice for him early CSing.
Yep. Speaking of Centaur, so why'd they pick Centaur? I guess we didn't even really go over that. Why'd they pick Centaur over anyone else?
I think the damage mitigation will be quite nice against the Blink Black Hole, but I don't know if that's enough.
They just needed an initiator. They needed some form of team fight is nice too. And when you're playing with like SF Jar Ogre, you need a way to deliver these heroes into the center of the action, and Stampede's great for that.
Kaka taking some damage. The 1-1-2 build by Gyro. He'll just
You are getting caught at the rune top.
And he's going to go down this EMP doing a ton of damage. Faith does get the kill. And he's struggling right now. He is, I believe, 0-3-0 on the Shadow Fiend.
Yeah, that ward on Dire helping them get that kill. They saw him running all the way for the regen rune top, and they collapsed when the Venge from the bounty rune top, and the Invoker from the mid lane, and they sandwiched him.
And he plays the same ward again, just goes out, and he plants another one. They'll have that vision again if it's not countered.
It's really important to rune control against Shadow Fiend. Specifically, it's obviously important against all mid laners to some extent, and the tornado setup again.
Newbee stun comes out, wave of terror.
He's so squishy and so susceptible.
Yep, the Shadow Fiend's struggling, but there's going to be a little
No
rotation.
mana.
TP actually gets canceled. SVG's just going to try to right clean down. Stun comes out, Raindrop tanks it up, and now SVG might be the one in troll. SCC going to turn around, health pot up, and now he does actually cancel. SVG, yeah, you see Yawar, he says well played because, well, at least you canceled the salve on Invoker, but...
He has to walk all the way back to lane on Yawar.
So what do you do in a Shadow Fiend in this case? You just keep running back to mid?
You turn into tower defense mode and jungle.
Okay, bottom lane. A lot of stuns on Rezo. He's just farming up these Eidolons, so one more attack. Or the Rock Barrage might have got him, but they all just disappear instead. But this Centaur snaking sometimes sacrifice this game top net worth.
This hero's scary with farm. Usually he's not picked all that much simply because he doesn't have this type of game.
He's paired with the IO, as you said. I mean, this top lane, unless you kill IO, I mean, you're not touching snaking, right?
That's just not possible, to be honest. The issue is that even though mid lane's going so well for Newbee, they're getting out CS'd in their lanes. So they need these kills to recover.
And now we see Rezo is actually, like you said, SVG got the pull right, so KP is actually forced. He's playing a little farther back. He is first to level 6, but top lane, they're going to do what we just said. MSS is going to get arrowed and stunned. He's going to go down, and man, Kaka on this Winter Wyvern is just ganks middle, ganks top, doing a great job.
I love this adjustment by Rezo on Gyro. Very rarely do you see people go for 2 points in flak, but he does about 75 damage a hit, and the Eidolons have 220 health. So if he has 4 attacks, he's guaranteed to kill all the Eidolons. So it's a very small but like important adjustment in this lane matchup that you don't see very often, and I like it a lot.
Good. Oh, look at this already middle lane. Winter Wyvern at nighttime. He's just sitting. Yawar's like, please, I'll be in the jungle. Just kidding, I won't be. There's not much he can do. Bottom lane, they are going to go for KP, and it looks like he will drop here. You get the kill to Rezo, but middle lane, they are going to converge up on Yawar. He's going to get cold snap. He's Arctic Burn, Splinter Blasted. He's taking so much damage. Tornado, will that be enough to get the kill? It won't, but the right click after will, and guess what? You're just going to earn and heal through it, and man, this is a real rough one right now in the middle lane for Shadow Fiend, but if you're SCC, you're like, I can't believe I'm Quas, Wex, Invoker. Thanks, guys. This is the best game I'm ever going to have, I think.
He's killing the tower.
Dude, it's almost dead. Versus Shadow Fiend, right?
Yeah.
Who can usually long range do it. We are going to see top lane Faith getting gone on. One more orb. Won't do it, though. It looks like they're just trying to get out now. And uh-oh, MSS does dodge the arrow. He does have a tether up. And we'll just go to the creeps. He's okay. A stun on the backside. Snaking going after him.
In the mid game, I think Newbee will have potential damage issues. Mirana needs a couple items to deal damage. Invoker's Quas Wex.
Well, what kind of items on Mirana this game? What do you like?
You go for the Maelstrom, I'm almost certain. I don't think you can go anything like Diffusal. There's no defensive item you can go first that changes your game, I think. So just going for the Maelstrom into BKB, I would like a lot.
I think the adjustment, well, I don't even know if it's an adjustment. I'm sure they picked it with the idea that SCCC was going to play Quas Wex, but if he were Exort in this game, they'd have some real problems. But I think that if you can just disrupt, like, they need to buy time for the late game. I think that that's where Newbee's going to shine. The BKB Enigma timing is paramount, and they will have issues killing the Centaur.
Yeah, and there's going to be a 3-on-3 fight, but SVG actually going all the way around. But look at this. You got to go for that IO first because he's just getting, he's just
Level 6 on Centaur.
up. Yeah, and he's going to pop it immediately. They get this long clock on. This guy's worth a little bit of money, but you don't want to die snaking.
He almost died to the Venge Illusion of the Mirana.
Yep, not being aggressive, but now you're going forward, and look at these orbs. They actually do so much. He has one more. He's going to die, though. If somehow SVG can get this, he's going to love the levels and experience he gets from that. He gets level 5, and
but now MSS can TP back in and heal up snaking.
So, yeah, Bloodbath of a top lane. It's a 2-for-1, but you kill this Mugi farmer on it. You know SCC is going to have a good game. So it looks like they go elsewhere to focus.
They have a dire ward that sees this massive rotation from VGJ to top, so they know Resolution left bottom. KP's free to get the bottom bounty runes as well as pressure the tower, which it looks like he's going for a Helm of the Dominator based on the Ring of Health. And since that mid tower is already gone, that's going to open up the invasion of the jungle of the Shadow Fiend. And once this tower bottom is gone, I don't know where he's going to farm. He's going to have to participate in fights earlier than I think he wants to.
You talked about that ward seeing this rotation. VGJ makes this rotation almost nearly every game, right? They just secure, they know it's here. But look at this. Resolution is, you're a little bit out of position there. He goes down. SCC already level 10. Tornado's going to fly out. EMP's there. MSS has a tether. Barely gets out. But maybe not, because Kaka lays down the ulti, and SCC, he does enough damage now. He has the phase boots earned, gets another kill Mega. Snaking, you're only level 6. You have a Vanguard and a Ring of Health. You're damn tanky, but you're not tanky enough for this.
That's a DD Invoker, and that's the ward coming into play. They knew he was there. He was there, so they just had all the time in the world to prepare for that. They were clearly set up, caught VGJ off guard, and meanwhile Enigma's just pressuring bottom.
It's a strange move there. Like, cannot believe they brought that many heroes to top lane where the Quas Wex Invoker will shut that down. Like,
that is what that hero does.
Yeah, you cannot, at this stage of the game, try and just run forwards through a choke point. You'll never be able to dodge Tornado. And they left a Helm of the Dominator Enigma with full Eidolons just bottom, like farming camps, pushing tower. Like, This is a very costly rotation.
Yeah, and this is, I mean, this is the opposite of what we saw last game right now. Newbee just dominating the laning phase with
Alacrity on the catapult. Starting to go back for Exort.
Yep.
And queuing up the Ags, so phase earn Ags. He's not getting too creative. Like we've seen some go for like the Rush Spirit Vessel, but he's just going for a pretty traditional Invoker build, like after the initial levels. Now he's going to start leveling Exort, has the Ags queued up, and the thing I want to say about this this Quaswex Invoker, a factor that's not often mentioned, is how often have they played against it in the last few months?
And especially one of this caliber.
Yeah.
Because when you come to TI and you're playing against someone like S-Triple-C,
Bottom
second place last year.
Ulti bottom for this. Can they get the winner wyvern? Will the ulti be enough? It misses actually, and now the black hole's going to come out solo on resolution.
He's relocating.
It will get stunned, but they won't get out, and now they're going to swap in SVG, and this game is starting to look a little bit out of control because they're more than likely going to get the IO when he comes back.
Special
as well.
delivery.
There's the ice wall going down. Arrow.
That
Look at
timing.
that timing, yep. And they get the kill. Simple as that.
This is... Oof. You can't fight Newbee's lineup, and they also have better late game. They have 3 heroes that pierce BKBs. You have 0 on VGj.Storm. Their whole draft is predicated on the idea that they'll stay ahead and be able to abuse their potential to skirmish and farm the map faster than Newbee to win. But they can't do that anymore, and they're going to have big Invoker problems. Like, I'd say soon, but they've had
might
them for
already
a
be
while.
here, yeah.
The beauty of the offlane Enigma is that it doesn't need help constantly. And that freed up the Wyvern to go mid, and that really screwed over Yoar's laning stage. And you're just seeing it.
That's like their timing. So like he's the guy that's going to rotate to find kills. And what have you? I haven't even seen his impact on this game.
Yeah.
Yawar's going for a Yules now.
He's been neutered, honestly. He can't have any impact. What's he supposed to do?
And now I'm sure Newbee knows everyone has to be near the top lane right now. They're actually stealing these neutrals over here. Resolution is, but they're just going to push a tier 2 bottom.
Helm of the Dominator Enigma pushes so fast. The Eidolons are basic damage rather than piercing like most summons are, so they do full damage to towers, and they just shred them with that attack speed bonus.
And now, from the backside, Faith will get multicasted on this. Should just be a very quick kill, it is, but still, 220 gold to your IO. You're not getting anything out of this. Meanwhile, bottom lane, Helm of the Dominator Enigma, he's not even level 10 yet, and he's almost hitting your base.
Yeah, look at the wards that VGj.Storm placed, though, while they were in that top area of the jungle. So they get to tier 1? 4.
Four of them.
Wards.
That one, yeah, in front of the tier 2 middle as well. There's a lot of vision.
Indeed. I just don't know how well they'll be able to utilize it.
Yeah, I was going to say, what do you do with it?
Well, you need to mirror the map. So they want to play in this top area of the jungle as much as possible and alleviate some of the pressure Newbee's able to output. But at the same time, you can shove lanes a bit faster, but no one on Storm actually threatens the Newbee heroes. Like, they don't have a hunter, and this is part of the downside of drafting IO Ogre, where neither one of your supports can actually make influence in the game. You're just praying that your cores get far enough ahead that you can just follow them around to the promised land, and as you can see, Newbee's on the hunt.
Uh-oh, yep, and the Aghanims here on the Invoker now. SCC already pretty much playing a perfect game. He'll just find another kill here. Wicked 6, so close to godlike, and this guy's owning.
Earn Cold Snap is crazy good. I'm surprised we don't see this hero played this way more often, because like you saw the range he cast that at.
Bottom. Possible kill coming. It's going to be tough. This guy has 2 leaps and a bottled haste. You're not getting him. And right now, yeah, Newbee's just playing so well around the map. Even though you saw they counter 1 ward top, but Radiant still has 3 wards top. But as you said, are those wards just dead gold right now? It's not like they're giving him anything, right?
And you can tell Newbee's aware of the situation they're in. They know that based on the way VGj has to play, they know all the vision's top, so if they make a smoke move, they should smoke through the wards, and they know that Enigma's going to constantly threaten bottom lane, so rather than making plays around bottom lane, just know that VGj is going to be glued to the bottom lane with somebody, which then frees you up to play the top half of the map, and just take control, honestly. They're eventually going to play this corral game where they get this blink black hole, make a movement, potentially go for Roche because they have the Venge damage, but you have this Invoker in the top net worth, and then the next 3 are on VGj, so it's not like they're crippled. But
the next 4 are Newbee.
Yeah, it doesn't feel like... I mean, one thing about this net worth advantage is 3K. Look at the difference between the 4 positions on both teams. You have 2,400 advantage on Wyvern compared to the Venge. That's where all the net worth is. And the support items can absolutely win games.
And I mean, IO's a hero who does extremely well with farm, like insanely well. And he has a bottle and a wand.
Yeah.
That's it.
And Wyvern is too.
You don't see MSS pour on any hero very often. And it's
I
probably
mean,
the lowest net worth at this phase of the game that he's had yet in this tournament.
He probably wishes it was old IO, you know, like 5 months ago. I'm just going to go farm the jungle. All right, I'm richer than everyone else.
Buy an Iron Talon back last year and
You're
be
good.
level 5 in like 3 minutes.
Be nice. But
Snaking sitting in the
do it.
tree's top. Hasn't seen the rest of Newbee for a while. They've been hunting for him top. And the nice thing about this is you linger.
Nope.
So that if they eventually... Oh, he sees the ghost. Okay, he blinks out because he saw the ghost walk animation.
But Gray's pinging out. SCC does ping him out. He needs to hit this. If he hits this tornado, more than likely to be a kill, but he probably just assumes he TP'd out. But snaking...
You gotta be
didn't
careful
TP
against
out.
Relo. The Invoker cannot die here. Like, he can't afford to slip up. It's not worth potentially getting relocated on with the Centaur Stomp.
So
Unless his team's around.
what should Newbee be doing? They're leading. It's 16-5, 4K lead. Should they be pressuring the map a little more than they are? Or are they happy just sitting
I think
back?
it's fine. You make a smoke move, if anything.
2-year
Enigma
Enigma because
pushes
he just
up,
got his
yep,
blink.
Exactly.
We are going to see a ulti middle to try to slow it down. And Resolution, well, they do survive with the help of Centaur's ulti. It will be on cooldown, but at least you don't lose Resolution.
Yeah, you can't take the fights they've been winning were either catching VGJ off guard or a couple times they countered the aggression. It's very difficult to push forwards because you're relying on your Invoker to make those plays, but he's still squishy.
Yes.
And if he catches a blink stun from Centaur, he will die immediately. You need to try and find the opening versus like just dive forwards and pray you meet somebody out of position.
Yep, and he is going for the Spirit Vessel. He is about 100 gold away, so a little tankier on the Invoker and just overall more damage. And top lane, though, they are going to get a stun. It is going to be Kaka. They're going to be able to bring him down pretty quickly. It is going to be a TP in from Faith, but he needs to be careful himself. And a quick pick-off, but
That's a level 12 Wyvern.
Yep. They know not much else can happen, though, right? They see the Shadow Fiend on map bottom, and Radiant's just going to have to bail out there.
Yeah, this is the mid-game timing. When they get these BKBs up on Shadow Fiend and Gyrocopter, there really isn't much Newbee can do about it. And that's going to be their window to make plays, maybe get a tier 1 mid, and then Roche. Newbee, you just want to keep looking for these favorable engagements, but we'll see. I mean, the lead that SCCC had on the game has diminished significantly.
This hero doesn't farm.
Exactly. You can see him running around Invis. Like, he isn't hitting creeps
Trying to
very
find
often.
Centaur, trying to find anyone he can. And once again, he's looking for someone just not getting gold. But
VGJ's doing a very good job of not
Oh.
feeding anymore
this
to
could be a
this.
very
As
easy
I
kill
mentioned
on
that.
MSS. He will get this one. Rezo's here, but Rezo won't be able to do anything. Tornado will actually even hit.
Had to make sure I said that immediately before he got killed.
Yeah.
So, but nothing like giving the good old Caster's Curse there. Bounty runs up in 30 seconds. Both teams are definitely going to put emphasis on that.
KP
Enigma,
bottom. He could be in a little bit of trouble. He's just hiding in the trees right now.
he's looking for that solo black hole.
Are
They see him.
They know he's here. Can they somehow bring him up? Snaking has the blink. He doesn't know exactly where he's
Yeah.
at. Now he sees him. He gets the blink stun, but the rest of his team not here yet. IO dead for 4 seconds. And now he could be in trouble himself. He's taking a ton of damage. Obviously, EMP doesn't have any mana, so doesn't have to. Tornado into the air. Wave of Terror misses, but it won't matter. SCC godlike right at the 20-minute mark. He's owning.
Double damage room bottled on Mirana. And that's just the part of the map that Newbee's not going to... They have this Enigma bottom, and he's pressuring, and he keeps pushing the wave in. But just because we said they're not going to go bottom, it means that they're... That's because Enigma's going to keep pressuring. But they say, if you're going to try to stop our Enigma, we're going to respond. Because our Enigma's strong, he has a blink.
I think that's not as big of a win for Newbee as it looks, because you still drag the entire team down to the bottom right corner away from Roche.
Now
They
they're
immediately
gonna
smoke right back
That's
and do it.
the DD rune bottled coming into play.
Yep.
But
Could they-
still, like, you gave Storm time to react. They'll have 5 up for this. If they
No
know what's
Centaur
going
ult.
on, they can go for it.
Yep. With this DD, right? Because they did see he bottled it with that ward. I'm sure that's why they know he's here. They're gonna try Wave of Terror, Alacrity Delta. This, even if you go in there, right? This Mirana is doing 300 damage a hit. Looks like they just try to steal it.
I like the blind tornado, just aiming at the path that Centaur would be coming
Swap
from.
making. He does get swapped after that nice Wave of Terror. He's going to eat that EMP as well as Moogie still double damaged up. That is a quick kill, and now they're going to move forward. It's going to be a double black hole by KP plus the Meteor. SCC is going to melt them down, and now Newbee, they're going to lose one in Faith, but And they know where he's at because this illusion's chasing. Can they somehow find him? SCC's going to try to run around the backside. Oh my goodness. Oh, but he knows. He's going to go for it. Oh my goodness.
Wow.
He hits a triple raise. He knew he was. That was invis too. He knew he was going that way, but.
That was epic. That was just blind prediction.
It doesn't do anything,
Yeah.
but that was sick.
Yeah, it was
I guess he had a sentry that saw him go about up until about 500 units before that, but that's still, yeah, that was impressive.
Yeah, I mean, you would have done it better, BSJ.
I mean, I would have hit him with 4.
Yeah. And now they're just going to get a tier 2. They're going to TP out. And I mean, you're VGj.Storm now. You're in quite the pickle. Can you ever just do you just keep farming with Rezo? Is that your only hope? Or
It's hard to say because there's no item he can buy that prevents him from just getting BKB Black Hold. And that's the next item that's going to be finished up by KP. So,
How do you win
I
fights?
don't know.
Yeah.
We got to replay real quick. You
Yeah,
can see like the 6 swap, and there's the cold snap urn. So Centaur just can't blink.
move.
He stands still until death. In the meantime, you see KP, nice blink, double ulti. Yawar found the Venge on the high ground with a blink Yules into ultimate solo kill. You can see right there. And then he escapes, but 3 for 1. Roche had just fallen. Tough.
now, you see him. VGj, though, they're not playing their base. They're trying to play aggressively, but they know this Vengeful. We already saw it once. Wave of Terror swap. Someone's instantly dying.
When you're behind, it feels like you're going to need to out-resource them for every single fight, and that's kind of what Wisp lineups can look to do. But in this game, I feel like Enigma's always going to push bottom. He's never revealing his actual hero, so how do you gank him? He's just pushing with summons. And then the rest of Newbee's enabled to play this 4-1 game, and it's super important that they have this Invoker that's playing off-map. Doesn't matter if he's jungling or if he's looking for kills. They don't know.
Snaking is in quite a bit of trouble top. Yules will make him miss the tornado. Now he's going to ulti, but the Wyvern will make it so that ulti will wear off. And now Arrow's going to hit him, start damaging Sunstrike to secure the kill. And SCC, beyond godlike.
And that's a Glimmer Cape setup into a Yules. Like, this Wyvern's rich.
That's what happens when you're up 22-7.
Yeah, and we say 6K, and we mentioned it already. He's 4.7K ahead of the counterpart.
And this is going to be a
4
kill.
position.
Shadow Fiend is just going to
He's got blink.
go down.
Oh.
Can't blink out of
wishful
Midnight
thinking.
Pulse too much. It's just a great gameplay by Newbee, and this is the team that reminds me of who they were last year at this tournament.
Yeah,
they finished second place. Like SCCC is like a real mid player, and we were talking about Invoker, how you haven't played against Quaswex. Like, I don't think anyone from Storm has played against this type of Invoker that. Not like you get him ahead, you're weak in the lane, but when Wyvern shows up, you get a couple of kills. All of a sudden, you are able to just take over a game. And I think his itemization, even just his skill build, leaving Quas at 4 points, maxing out Exort after the Wex, like it's just simple stuff. But
yep. He's probably happy. He's like, I love playing this style of Invoker, but you never see because it's never the right situation. You finally have the right situation, and look what it does.
Yeah, and he didn't. A lot of Invokers would have probably finished the Spirit Vessel. But he just says, I'm ahead, I have this urn already, which is just, you just get it because of the cold snap synergy, but he just rushes the Ags. And as soon as you have that, like, your hero is online and good to go.
Newbee, beautiful ward in the base to help them siege high ground. They can use that to swap. They just smoked on the Wyvern and then used the Wyvern Arctic Burn to get in position.
Ooh, tornado. Are they going to... I was about to say, you're not going for SVG in the base, are you?
Got to be careful of, like, attacking uphill. It'll reveal that you have a ward.
And they have another one as well, the bottom hill. So they have tons of really sick vision in that area, and you can tell, like, that's where they're going to be playing. They still have Aegis for a little bit of time.
Morano almost has her... It does have BKB complete.
Yep, you get the BKB Mirana, BKB Enigma, and there's really no damage output from Storm. You have a BKB Yasha on the jar, but he's going to be the target, and Shadow Fiend went Blink Yules. Like, almost all of their damage is magical.
They're going to be sitting in base for a little bit of time once we see a little more pressure. Maybe the next Roshan. And he's going Octarine next on Invoker.
I have to believe he'll swap that up, but...
Why?
What do you want him to swap to?
I don't know. I feel like I never see Octarine anymore. I just feel like there's...
He just wants cooldowns, right?
There's like...
all you
What
want.
about like a sheep stick, though?
You get that after. It's Invoker. You get Octarine Core. You have like 9 spells. You want to cast them as much as possible.
I have... let me tell you, I've played 11 Invoker games in my time.
And you're 0-11, so thank you.
I'm like 3-8.
Oh, well, close enough.
Yeah, I've only built Octarine 3 times.
Oh, okay. So probably it looks like he's going Octarines, then probably if they're outright like Shiva's Hex, do you think? And then you're good.
I think the game might be over before that point, but needless to say, VGJ, they're going to be stuck in their base. They're going to be forced to take a stand. Buybacks may be their saving grace, but I think Newbee being... I feel like Chinese teams are always very disciplined about, very safe about these high ground sieges, and they're smoked up again.
Oh, and they're gonna.
Or invis rune, just both invis actually. No smoke.
This is gonna be a nice find. Yawar, will they get him? Yep, they sure will. Oh dear.
And they have Venge swap to cancel the TP.
He vesseled him already though.
He did.
He actually hasn't taken damage yet. The vessel takes the second to tick, so he may be able to blink if he's got quick cast and he's spamming it.
Well, can he just BKB TP?
This Venge.
But
He cannot BKB TP.
So he needs to blink.
He needs to blink
and hope TP.
Yes, he can. If he blink BKB TPs, he'll get out because the Venge won't get in range.
And like you see Yawar rough times. SCC just hits him with the yes.
He's going into his settings real quick. Quick cast, quick cast.
Even then, all right. This Venge, because he can only blink the way he's facing.
Yeah.
And obviously during this pause, sure it helped Yawar, but it also
Shadowfane's got the 1.0 turn rate though, so
yeah.
you never know. Maybe it's different with those heroes.
Yeah, it's more than likely this young man's gonna be dead. And bottom lane, KP hasn't led. It's 27 minutes into the game. He did that one gank and one Roshan middle. Besides that, he's just been sitting bottom.
Would Sumail get out of this?
No.
Okay.
No one's getting out of this. Unless they just completely whiff Wave of Terror.
Slap it? No, I'm just kidding. We
Yeah,
got...
let's see.
Oh!
He's going to go for
Oh, the Yules!
BKB.
The Yules, actually.
Him. Can he get far enough away? He will. He's going to BKB. And he gets out of there.
Man, Sumail couldn't even get out of that, but Yawar.
Yeah.
That's why he's here.
We were thinking about Yulesing himself or something. Instead, he just Yules someone else, doesn't get swapped, and gets out of there. The Wave of Terror did. That was a funky Wave of Terror. I thought the angle was a little off.
It hit him, but he just ran away for the 3 seconds.
Yeah.
It damages through BKB, right? The Wave of Terror?
Pierces Spiel, man.
Nice.
You have a keyboard too, BSJ.
That is true.
It's weird that he went Sanj and Yasha on Res though. I imagine it's just to synergize with the Bloodlust so he can hit Axe move speed, but...
Ooh.
You know me, Sanj and Yasha Gyrocopter supporter here.
Okay, they now do have a very important talent. It is the IO Tether Grand Scepter bonus, so now the Gyro gets a free item, which is a very strong item on this here. He does a lot of damage, but as you said, if this Enigma just hits his BKB Black Hole, who cares what the Gyro has?
It's about the buybacks, man. I believe if they win this game, VGJ is going to have somebody get Black Holed and then buyback.
I really don't think KP's going for anything.
Oh, they pop out the dust. They knew the ulti was there. He's going to pop his BKB. They're going to go for it. They're going to try to just kill Faith.
That's a support Venge, though.
Yeah, it is your BKB. I believe that was his 10-second. You do get a kill. It opens up the map.
Yeah, maybe tier 1 tower. I guess it's really low, so it's 100% going down.
And that is the strength of the VGJ draft. They still do have 2 incredibly strong cores and a Wisp Ogre. So if you take poor engagements as Newbee and you're just out of position for a couple of seconds, you can lose 2 or 3 heroes just like that. So they got to be disciplined. Fight with Wyvern, fight with Enigma. If you're Storm, avoid big ultimates, huge team fights. Try and take skirmishes and abuse your map control, your farming speed, and your raw damage output to win.
Oh, they didn't even get the mid tower off that. That's rough. I mean, obviously it's very hard to push into a Wyvern Enigma, so it makes sense that they want to play safe. But when you get a kill and you're not able to finish off a 100 health tower, that's pretty indicative of the situation you're in. I like the way Snake King's playing on the bottom half of the map. If he can manage to not get caught in the trees here. I think it's important that somebody release pressure down here, but Newbee knows that that's important, and they're hunting. They're going to look. They have the ward that helps Snake King be able to do exactly what he's doing. This is the kind of stuff that VGJ is very good at. Yawar does this a lot as well, and he's just going to wait. And they caught Kaka mid lane, who... Does anybody know why he's there? I didn't see the part leading up to that.
He's just walking around trying to get vision for his team, right?
Yep, and Snake King is going to be able to cut a wave.
Yep. What were you about to say, Kyle?
I don't remember. I got distracted listening to BSJ, and it feels like a lifetime's passed in the interim.
Yeah, a lifetime of beauty.
Oh, and okay, Yawar, he gets the 2 damage per soul. That's if you're going for the Hex build, isn't it usually Shadow Rays damage, or am I mistaken?
Yes, but you have an Ogre, you have a Wisp.
So you do damage.
Yeah.
A lot of it. Okay.
I've seen a lot more people nowadays going for the 2 soul damage. The only time I've seen the raise is when they go ETH Blade.
It's because the raise damage is nice, but it's like somewhat negligible since they already do so much damage. Whereas the soul, and it's only useful if you're not dealing damage later on in the game with your raises primarily.
Yeah.
So it's just so much right click when you synergize it with the increased IAS. But oh, Snaking's item build, that was what I was gonna say. He's buying Ags, which is like the only way to save from
Damage
Enigma
mitigation.
for the damage mitigation. Exactly.
Needs to be careful though. He just continues to do it. Oh my goodness, the perfect spot to be in. He didn't go too far this time. Snaking. I mean, he's just keeping this bottom lane pushed in so they can't pressure. Oh. Wave
Roche
there.
spawn.
It did, and who sees it? Looks like just Dire.
And this is huge because the big way to play against these huge teamfight ultimates with long cooldowns is to get Aegis on one of your cores.
Middle lane, we just see, I mean, call down right, as you said, short cooldown. Guess what? I just made 400 gold. That was easy. Cataclysm now.
What Snaking's doing bottom is so important.
Not maxed Exort, though.
It's allowing his team to never have to be here. And they don't want to play around this area because they're concerned about Roche.
It's a great ward as well. That's like, with the Sentry too, it's very smart. They're placed at the same time, and it enables them to scout out the Invoker, who's the one that's going to be hunting at all times.
One thing I've realized that these top cores do is if they want to play like this, they'll demand this situation. He goes, I know if I want that, I'll need a ward in the lane in order to enable me, and that's the kind of communication that I feel like Snaking's very good at this. I know he is, because he does it in pubs too.
Oh my, there's going to be possibly a fight, or are they just going to try to get out? SVG's going in the back line. He's just going to stun, throw an Ignite to slow everyone else down. Snaking more than likely is going to be in quite a bit of trouble, though. Should just die. Everyone else might get out of here. They commit a lot of people.
He bought out, so he has no buyout either. They can just go straight for Roche. Right as I was praising him, they...
Thing is, again, he draws them to the bottom right
Oh, wait.
corner of the map.
We have a TP. Oh, they're just going to push out top.
They know that reload is there, though. They saw it on the high ground ward, I think.
Yeah. Uh-oh. Is KP just going to black hole
dear.
here?
They're leaving him. They're leaving him.
He'll just get arrowed instead. And like you said, now Roshan is looking pretty free here.
But
he's high level. He's 70 seconds death timer.
Top's being pushed in.
Level
IO
19.
buys back immediately. Bottom's being pushed in. Looks like they plan to stall this out until Centaur's alive.
How can you stall this out? Like, what do you...
Let's
Can
find
you?
out.
They're gonna
Gyrocopter ultimate forces everyone out of the pit. SF still just hitting bottom. No TP for 4 seconds. We'll have a full sheep stick if he kills the tower last hit.
Here we go. Centaur
get
gonna
it.
immediately TP, but this Roche is going to go down. Do you fight afterwards? Maybe try to confuse them a little bit? Doesn't look like you do. They see SVG. Kakao
Then
wants to
tornado.
kill.
Oh, that's jukes.
Snaking. He's still standing here, but another one we haven't talked about in a little bit is Moogie. He's pretty far now. He has a full Mjolnir. He has a BKB. He can just BKB and right-click someone in the fight, right? And he's not scared of anything?
They still have the sheep stick, though.
Yeah.
So around the map, like not in the middle of fights, but around the map, he still has to be a bit scared. He has to play with his team, which hinders his efficiency. But once you're in the fight, you can willingly commit on the Mirana because of all the reliable lockdown that you have. Like you're gonna, if you go in, they're gonna either have to run away from you, and you don't have to BKB, or they're gonna be locked down if they try to go on you.
Satanic now in resolution. With that, obviously, you get the free Ags. He doesn't need another damage item. And it looks like VGJ, I mean, they have decent items. But, Kyle, you were the one who said it. Do they have a counter to this BKB Enigma yet?
They do not.
They do not.
Now he's going to have a refresher. And I like the itemization of KP as well. You see a lot of Enigmas overemphasize the need for mana. And they get, like, Arcanes and Soul Ring. But he just went Soul Ring, HOD, Blink. BKB, and it's enabled him to stay on pace with the game, and his hero will have that trump usefulness.
Good awareness.
At all times. And yeah, now just straight refresher.
Oh no, this is a dieback. If MSS goes down here, oh my goodness, I can't believe that tether got him over there. Will he get it? No, SVG actually tanks it up, but they know. You get this kill, yep, you're going to use that BKB, you're going to keep going, and that's a dieback. We're going to see a black hole on the back side. It's going to be onto one, the Shadow Fiend. That's the only one you need. He has BKB, not going to use it because you're going to die either way, and what a pick.
Has full refresher on Enigma from that kill.
Ooh, do you just pop it and then put it back on
Yeah,
courier?
I think so.
I think
honestly.
that's the play.
Let's see, but...
The only thing is that does double its cooldown, but it's worth the information game, I think.
Just a good play by Moogie,
just
right?
put it on the ground, right?
The ground, no, it has to be in your inventory to not be doubled.
And I love this play. Like, whenever you use a big spell like that,
snaking.
just refresh immediately.
Yeah.
Don't get greedy and try and use 2 in one fight.
He shows it, though, so he doesn't plan to hide it. He used it immediately, but he has no intention of playing the, deception, catch him off guard type play.
Snaking just barely lives there, by the way. He was just soaring around him, but he gets out, and he's going to be able to split another wave, just cut it here. And, man, Snaking is being so nice. He's keeping them in so they're just not losing their base right now.
It's great play from Newbee, though, to just show mid, but always be playing other areas of the map as well.
Yep, he has his Aghanims. He just got his ulti up.
He could maybe try to juke into the trees with his ult.
There's going to be the ulti. All right, well, ulti goes down. Here comes the...
the creep!
The creep. He's just going to be able to blink away. Do we have anything else? Cataclysm won't do anything.
The creep with, like, 2 health. Yep. Tanks the arrow. That's so unfortunate.
Snaking is just keeping him in this game with his play. And, I mean, a little bit of a misplay, obviously, by Newbee right there. But you take what you can get when you're down this far.
I like this play. With Wyvern ult down, you're behind. This is one of your best opportunities. Because now you kill the Enigma, and you know that there's no team fight left for Newbee to swing things around.
They do have a black hole, but does the
Radiant
know
you kill the
that
Enigma.
yet?
You have to kill the Enigma. They
saw the
refresher. They should know.
Oh, they're going in. Who's he going to find with the net? It's a bloodlusted netter. He does get him in the backlines. They're going to find someone else. It's going to be Faith. And now we're going to see him. They're going to blink on forward. SCC and Kaka. They're going to run on back. And Faith, it is a buyback, but it is just a support Venge still. A kill is a kill. They're still 11K down, and man, I like SVG, just bloodlusted this ogre. He's like, well, I found the Enigma, but they couldn't quite find that young man.
Oh, Invoker just throws himself into the fray with the Aegis. He's not scared.
Yep, SVG will get a stun off on the back. Wave of Terror coming through. Meteor going to do a decent amount of damage. Resolution hasn't used BKB, still hasn't. He's going to just get Black Hole. He's going to die, just stuck out in the middle of nowhere. And they're going to look for more. There will be a blink away, though, from the Centaur. And MSS going forward. Do we have anything? The arrow will be a little bit late.
You gotta admire the innovation from SVG to buy a Helm of the Dominator, take a troll net creep, and cancel the black hole.
That is actually a very good point. That is the one thing you can do. If you have no BKB disable, you need that skeleton.
It didn't save him, but he canceled it.
Yep.
So maybe it'll play a role in the future.
And that is why they call him the mastermind.
SV Jesus, maybe?
It's not looking like it's going to play much of a role. They're about to lose a Rax middle. And there's not much more you can do. You don't want to buy back on Jar. 30 seconds left. You do have your BKB, but is that enough? Snaking continues to just be a hindrance to Newbee top, but they're like, whatever. Good luck. You're not going to take that tower.
He has that return damage for the tower.
But Mugi with the alacrity, he is just melting this barracks. We hear the Aegis go down.
I love SCCC's play that fight. Just blinks into the middle of everything. No fear. Didn't even have a ward or anything. He just said, yeah, go on me, I dare you. Like, you're going to get all black holed, and if you kill me once, I still have Aegis. They're chasing him here. They get the Wyvern ulti. Do they have a way to prevent the blink, though, afterwards? No.
They do not. Oh, that tornado, it
But the
misses,
free pathing.
Unfortunately, they're going to try to. He's just running around, but a nice job. Gets the Yules off, and guess who's here? It's KP. He's going to use the refresher. Might as well, and they just get it. Now Snaking instantly buys back. Are they just going to run it middle?
Play. This is their only play. I like the decision, but Newbie,
they're back.
This is a must-win game for them, and they are taking absolutely no chances.
Yep, smart. And now,
they're actually just running back to the fountain. Yep. That's great.
Yep.
Yeah, they're literally in the fountain as 4 heroes.
Not metaphorically, literally.
Yep. So, what do you? If you're VGj.Storm now, do you just? I mean, we've seen what they've done. Do you just sit in your base, or I mean, they try to make a play here, but it just completely fails.
Well, there's no count. They need to prevent Enigma killing the Gyro. You need to find some way to target him and take him down. And I just love the play from Newbee to just gather up. They've won the game at this point. They only lose if they give Storm a mistake to capitalize on, and they are just gonna walk around the map as 5. Let's see Wyvern maybe sweep and find that ward. It looks like they just pinged it out. They get it. Nice. And you can wait for next Aegis now, I believe. You have the 1 Rax. There's no need to be in any rush because you've seen that Gyro went for Scotty, not a Rapier. So it's not like you have this huge damage clock that's about to come up and potentially just win the game for you for Storm and Flak.
Yeah, so you think Newbee just continues doing what they're doing? Just play the map correctly, hide?
Yep.
Scepter being worked on Enigma. Definitely going to save for buyback. No reason to be greedy about it.
Ooh, both scans go out. This is some 40-minute bounty rune scans going, and it looks like Radiant will take 2.
Double
Dire
rune
will
as
take
well.
2.
No important ones, just haste and invis. I guess haste might be important on Wisp, but he has the Centaur.
It's all about the Blink Hex on Shadow Fiend. You need to find a way to kill the Enigma and the Wyvern, or rather kill one of them while the other is prevented from saving.
Yep.
So I think Enigma's your key target, and then if you're lucky, theoretically you could just double BKB with both your cores and just jump the Enigma. Wyvern will ult one of you, but the other will be rendered immune thanks to the BKB, and hopefully that's enough to finish off KP.
I love the way Kaka's playing this game. The item build, the skill build with the talent build with 500 night vision. He's playing like the scouting pick-off setup. He's always been the one that sets up the kills on Centaur, and I just love that he's adjusted a hero like Wyvern to turning it into... He knows against the Centaur ultimate he's the primary source of catch because the Venge is the only other reliable stun other than Black Hole, and Venge has no items.
And this is going to be a shadows coming out from the dire side. They're going to find one. It's going to be snaking. They know he doesn't have buyback. He has an ulti, but it's not going to come out. It finally does, but it won't be enough. He's going to die. He's dead for 80 seconds now, and they're looking for more. They want this ISO. They don't want any more of that armor. Black Hole's going to come. Cataclysm. There's so much damage to Rezo. He dies. They're going to have to buy back with him and MSS more than likely. Ogre, Magi will fall as well. Missed the Deafening Blast, but SCC, he is 17-0-15. I don't think he cares if he misses one Tornado on an Ogre at this point, because he is... I'm not going to say carried his team. His score looks like he's carried his team, but this was just a very good team effort. I mean, just great play.
I mean, he's 17-0-15.
He carried his team, we'll say it.
He's been there for 32 out of 34 kills.
But would he have been there if Winter Wyvern didn't gank middle 3 times?
True.
And now, it's not over yet. Obviously, 2 buybacks still there with the Shadow Fiend just pushing out bottom. But they're losing everything. You see their middle getting pushed in, their top getting pushed in quicker.
Hey. Feels like this meta is all about the 4-player and the 2-player, and any team that has exceptional players at both those positions seems to be in a great position to just do well in this tournament. And Newbee's record doesn't show it, but I think that their quality of play that they demonstrated here is a lot better than a few of the teams that we've seen thus far.
It shows they can still play at that level, but as we've always talked about, TI is all about consistency. Being one of the best and consistency, and now Last Rax is going to go down.
You definitely don't GG out if you're Storm. You have Gyro.
You have Gyro.
You can always buy a Rapier.
Now, they're going to try to do some sort of fight. Moogie, he gets multicast. They're going to try to run in. Now, Rezo, his ulti a little bit off there, but here we go. KP is going to throw out a Black Hole. It only hits onto one, but it's the one you need. Oh, MSS gets them on out of their Cataclysm. Will go out, doesn't do too much, but Rezo, he is getting handled by his own team. Meteor's going to come down, and look at this Deafening Blast. Hits on all 4 of them, and SCC just turns the fight. Here comes Yawar. He pops his ulti, but it's not going to do much. You get Moogie, but it's now a 30K lead. 4 buybacks to come in. Can they pick anyone else off? It doesn't look like it, and what a fight from Newbee.
That was sick. I don't think there's another way to describe that combo.
That was just the setup. You always said Winter Wyvern just needs to be in place, and after Winter Wyvern's in place, everyone else.
It's great. Like, the Enigma ults the Gyro, right? Almost full duration, but then he gets saved from the Wisp, charges forwards, BKB'd, he gets Wyvern ulted. Like, the whole strategy revolves around prevent Resolution from dealing damage and clean up with your spells.
Yeah, they have Ogre plus Wisp supports. They have invested in the one hyper carry, and I love the way they've addressed this opening, like the opener of the draft of VGj.Storm.
Yeah, Mega's for Roshan, but as you said, Kyle, they have the rape. You just don't go Scotty, right? You have to queue up Rapier.
I'm surprised he even bought the Ultimate Orb before. I would have, if he had not purchased that item and sold drums, he could just have a Rapier at the moment. And I think that if you have that plus Aegis, you still have a win condition. Like, it's not over. It's just really hard. But you certainly keep going here, try and force buybacks.
It looks like that's what he's going to do. Tornado up into the air. No buybacks coming in yet. Moogie only has 15 cents. Eats the cheese on Rezo.
Oh my god.
Now he's just going to blow up. SCC as well is just going to go, and Rezo is trying with Satanic to just survive. He's taking so much damage from these Mega Creeps, though. He's going to try to fly away. Kaka wants to find him, has the night vision, gets the ulti off. He's setting it up. This more than likely might be game. The Ice Wall goes down. Yawar on the backside needs to find somebody. He's going to find the Enigma, but Glimmer caped up, won't take any damage. There's the Aegis. Blink away from Yawar. SVG goes down, and guess who's going to respawn in that Ice Wall? It's Resolution with no BKB, and he is dead. Tornado will steal the kill. Or earn him the kill, I should say. And will they get Yawar before the game is over? They sure will, and this was a dominating performance by Newbee this game.
It was a dominating performance by SCCC. Let's be real. I'm not saying that the rest of the team didn't play well, but I think that's about as close to a flawless Invoker game as you're ever going to see in competitive Dota 2. And what a better time, no better time to do it, rather, because they're trying to stave off elimination, and this was a must-win game.
It was, and they won it more so than even normal.